If you couldn't tell, I'm a Back to the Future fan. Like, a big one. It was my favorite movie growing up, and it continues to be my favorite movie of all time. Time travel is something that rarely gets done correctly in movies and TV, and most people would agree it's hard to make a time travel story. So many of these stories are riddled with plot holes and retcons that the internet will just tear them to shreds. The not-so-secret to telling these stories is to define your time travel logic and keep it consistent. It's basically the same as creating a magic system for a fantasy story. If you don't define any consistent logic, your story will have no weight, and nobody can get invested in a story where nothing matters. That brings us to Back to the Future. Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale created a time travel system that had its own consistent in-universe logic that the viewer actually knew better than the characters. There are several times in the movies where Doc thinks something could be catastrophic, but turns out to be fine, like Jennifer meeting her future self. So Back to the Future is known by many to have great examples of time travel and storytelling. But does it break its own rules? In Back to the Future Part 2, Marty and Doc go to the year 2015 to save Marty's son, Marty Mcfly Jr., from getting involved with Griff Tannen's gang. Well, during this ordeal, Marty buys a sports almanac that holds all the scores to all the sports games from 1950 to 2000. Marty's like, "Doc, come on." Doc is like, "Nah, Marty, don't." Well, Old Man Biff sees this and takes the opportunity to steal the time machine and go back to 1955 to give himself the almanac. Here's where our problem comes in. When Biff uses the time machine, he changes the past and then comes back to 2015. But shouldn't he have gone to an alternate 2015? So I've been thinking a lot about this. Doc Brown explains timelines like this.
Imagine that this line represents time. Prior to this point in time, somewhere in the past, the timeline skewed into this tangent, creating an alternate 1985.
Don't worry, Marty. Assuming we succeed in our mission, this alternate 1985 will be changed back into the real 1985, instantaneously transforming around Jennifer and Einie.
Biff disappears when he returns to 2015, but I believe this is because Biff was killed by Doc Brown. Now, you're probably thinking, but it is revealed in the IDW comic series that in 1986A, Biff blackmails Doc into letting him use the time machine to go to 1996 so he can cheat at the stock market. Doc sends Biff back to the year 1884, where Biff is killed by his great-grandfather, Buford Mad Dog Tannen. So the timeline goes something like this. In 1955A, Biff gets the book from Old Man Biff. In 1973A, Biff kills George McFly and marries Lorraine. In 1985A, Marty, Doc, and Jennifer come back from 2015. And 1986A, Biff is sent back to 1884 and Biff dies. So that explains why Biff disappeared in 2015, but it doesn't explain why 2015 is not 2015A. My theory on this is that time moves in sort of a ripple effect, where one thing is changed and then the first thing directly affected by that is changed. Then the second thing, and so on and so on. So, for example, in Back to the Future Part 1, when Marty pushes his father out of the way from getting hit by Lorraine's father's car, it took him a whole week to start disappearing. This is because his parents never got together, then his brother wasn't born, then his sister wasn't born, then he wasn't born. This same explanation could be used for why the new timeline didn't catch up with Marty and Doc in 2015, but it doesn't explain why Biff went to normal 2015. In every other instance in the trilogy, when a character changes time and jumps to a new year, they are already in that new timeline. This is best proven in Part 3, when Marty leaves 1885 and goes to 1985, and the ravine's name was changed from Clayton Ravine to Eastwood Ravine. An immediate change from Marty's actions in 1885. Now, if something as insignificant as the ravine is an instantaneous change, then it doesn't make any sense for a gradual change to affect Biff. I mean, I could see a gradual change affecting Doc, Marty, and Jennifer, but it would be an instant change for Biff, and he would end up in the alternate 2015. I need a drink.
Assuming we succeed in our mission, this alternate 1985 will be changed back into the real 1985. Instantaneously transforming around Jennifer and Ivy. Instantaneously transforming around Jennifer and Ivy. Instantaneously transforming around Jennifer and Ivy.
Kobe.
Yeah. What?
Kobe, I figured it out.
1 second. I'll be back. Yeah, what's up?
I figured it out.
Figured what out?
The future Biff went back to was 2015A. It was right there under our noses the entire time.
Joey, I was kind of in the middle.
Doc said Jennifer and Einstein wouldn't notice the change because the world would change around them. So, Doc and Marty must have not noticed the change when it changed around them in 2015.
Dude, me and Lorraine are kind of in the middle.
Yes,
of
Lorraine. When Biff died, she must have inherited all his money. So, she must have used it to rebuild Hill Valley. That's why it's the same in 2015 and 2015A.
That Joey. Always up to some crazy shenanigans. What a character. What a card. Card.
Kobe, are you coming back?
Oh, yeah, honey. I'm coming. Card.
Hey, thanks for watching. I really like Back to the Future. I've done a couple of videos about it before. If you care to watch them, they'll be up on the screen here in a second. This was a kind of a different video for me to do. I don't really talk about like fan theories or whatever much. I certainly don't come up with my own fan theories much. So if you like that, go ahead and like the video or whatever and share it to your friends who like Back to the Future. If they do, if they don't like Back to the Future, tell them to watch it anyway. I'm sure they'll like my sweet face. That was really stupid. And if you know, whatever, if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I like making videos. That's all I had to say. So thanks. I'll just go out of here. I'll see you some other time. I bet. Okay, I can't go any further, so I'm gonna come back. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and hang out, I guess.